It's time to get in the game.
Get in the game.
What's up, team? Welcome back to another episode of the Get in the Game podcast, the podcast where we explore ways to get off the sidelines, stop making excuses, and get in the game. I'm your coach, Trevor Dean, and I want to again start off by thanking you for tuning in week after week. Thank you for being loyal listeners and watchers. If you haven't already, go on over to the website, check out a little info about me. You can also get, if you're listening to this, you can get video of the podcast. If you are watching this, you can find other ways to maybe stream it and listen to it, whether in your car or you're doing something else where you need headphones. We'd love for you to go out and check that out. Please also get a hold of us on social media. The handle is at GetInTheGamePC. That's at GetInTheGamePC, and that's for all of our social media handles. You can follow us on that. You can also email us at gettinthegamepodcast@gmail.com, and we'd like to hear for any praises, prayer requests, any suggestions you have for upcoming episodes, people you'd like me to talk to, anything like that. We'd love to hear from you. Encouragements, criticisms. I'd like to hear from you at all. So go ahead, hit those up. Contact us that way, and just help us get the word of God out to as many people as possible. All right, on to today's topic. It's kind of a interesting one. I titled it Compassion, basically because of the feelings I've had lately, and this is going to be kind of more of a confessional type episode. Just kind of things I've been thinking about, things I've been going through. I've kind of felt in my normal day-to-day life that I've had a little less compassion than I should have for just things around me. Through the hustle and bustle of everyday life, you get busy, you get overworked, you get tired. Sometimes you're not those things. Maybe you're more excited about stuff, and you just don't let things hit you the way that they may normally have, or you don't allow yourself to feel one way or another about certain things, and basically kind of puts you in this apathetic state. And I was kind of thinking about it, what to talk about this week, and something happened. I was told something, and I kind of got this feeling that it was really important for this person, and I should be really happy for them. And it's not that I am not. It just, in my own way, I was just kind of like, oh, that's fine. That's cool. Like, all right. Not that I don't care, but I was just kind of, I wasn't getting this overwhelming feel of joy for this person, and not not because I wasn't happy for them, but because I was just maybe it's just a mood, maybe it's just a certain season of way I've been feeling or whatever. But that kind of feeling, it got to me, and I started thinking, this is something that is important to this person, and it just didn't hit me in the way that I felt like it should have. And then I started thinking about the last few weeks or months or whatever. Maybe it could stem all the way back to early 2020. And I don't need any explanation for any of you out there listening, but there's just a lot of stuff that's happened in the last nearly 2 years now. And maybe I just kind of get dull to certain things or whatever. But I started thinking about, how long has this feeling been going on? And I really couldn't put my finger on it. And that's not with every person or everything out there, because there are definitely times where certain things matter to me, or it's a certain person who's telling me something, and I really get to feel that emotion of compassion for them. And like I said, it's not in everything I do, but it is something that was noticeable enough for me to think that I need to talk about this. And the reason I feel like I need to talk about it is because I feel like it's a willful, I don't know how to put this exactly. It's like a willful feeling of, I'm just not gonna let it get to me, or I don't want to feel whatever mood that is, and so you just are apathetic to it. And for those of you who might get confused, like I do, about certain definitions about the different, apathy, empathy, sympathy, being apathetic is basically, according to Merriam-Webster Dictionary, it is not having or showing much emotion or interest. And the full definition of apathetic is it's affected by, characterized by, or displaying apathy, or having or showing little or no interest, concern, or emotion. And that is exactly the feeling I was having when I was, that news hit me, and I was just kind of like, cool, like, good for you. But it wasn't anything big for me. And the reason I say that is, I said I feel like it's kind of a willful disregard of emotion sometimes. And that's the way I'm feeling. That's not necessarily how it is for everyone, because I know that certain feelings of apathy can be characterized in different types of different mental states and stuff. And so I want to be very careful and very deliberate in saying the way I felt is like I felt it's more of a deliberate type of attitude I was taking towards whether something negative or something positive. If I didn't want to feel it, then I was just kind of, I was here. I wasn't going to get up high, and I wasn't going to get down low. I'm right in the middle. But I feel like that willful disregard for however I was going to feel is in a way sinful. And it's because it's a selfish way of saying, I don't want to deal with whatever, emotion you want me to feel, so I'm just not going to. And I feel like I need to be better than that. And so I'm out here saying this because I know that I feel it's taken me away from God. It takes me away from, when I get in feelings like this, it puts me in positions where I don't feel like reading the Bible. It makes me feel like I don't really want to do much, even for this podcast. Something that it's been so important to me over the last few years, just brainstorming and finally getting it going. But you get in moods where you just don't want to do it, and you almost want to say, you know what, God, if you want to do it yourself. And I know that sounds huge and harsh, and maybe like, man, Dean, how could you say that? And I'm just being real with you, and I'm sure a lot of you out there feel some of the same ways that I'm talking about right now. And it's humbling when you actually can you can see it, you can recognize it, and you can confess it. And so I wanted to let you know that that I am bringing this not only to you, but I'm bringing it to God and asking for His forgiveness for these feelings of apathy and this way of kind of just sitting there and saying, I don't want to deal with it. And it's a selfishness, and He wants us to be compassionate for our family, our neighbor. Jesus even told us to love our enemies, because love is the only way that's going to change hearts. And so I feel like we need to be more empathetic and sympathetic. And empathy is the action of understanding, being aware of, being sensitive to, and vicariously experiencing the feelings, thoughts, and experience of another, of either the past or present, without having the feelings, thoughts, and experience fully communicated in an objectively explicit manner. So the way I would put that is, just because you haven't gone through it doesn't mean you can't imagine what they're going through. In fact, in the Merriam-Webster Dictionary, the second definition for it is the imaginative projection of a subjective state into an object so that the object appears to be infused with it. So basically, I'm imagining what that person is going through, and I am trying to feel what they would feel like, even though I don't have any experience with that. So it's this is so this is so out there in terms, because I have no idea what any of this feels like. I don't know. I've been fortunate enough or blessed enough to not have a lot of painful things happen to me in my life, but I can be empathetic to someone who cracks their femur bone in half, because I know how badly breaking, a finger or something is. And I'm just saying, okay, well, if I imagine that it's, 10 times, 20 times greater or more painful than that, I can feel that. And then I can also put myself into a emotional state to say, if I couldn't walk for 6 months because I snapped my femur in half, emotionally, I can empathize with that person and kind of try to feel what they're feeling, even though you don't have that experience of going through that. When you sympathize with someone, and we'll get the sympathy definition for you right here. These are all from the Merriam-Webster Dictionary. So the first one is the feeling that you care about and are sorry about someone else's trouble, grief, misfortune, etc. A sympathetic feeling. I like to go down to the bottom one. Definition 3, a state in which different people share the same interests, opinions, goals, etc. And number 2 is a feeling of support for something. So you can be sympathetic to a cause, and I feel like that's kind of like that support of something. But number 3 kind of puts what I'm talking about into kind of the meat potatoes of it is it's when you have the same interests, or you've had the same experiences. And so when you have that feeling that you care about someone and are sorry about someone else, you know what it's like. It's when someone loses a grandparent and you have already lost a grandparent. You sympathize with that because you know what it's like to lose that grandparent. So if they were to say, like, you don't know what it's like, you could say, actually, I know exactly what it's like to lose a grandparent. So you're sympathizing with them. But if you've never done that and you're feeling those feelings and stuff, then you're empathizing with them. You've never been in that situation, but you can imagine what it would be like to lose a grandparent in that way. And I just feel like we need to be more. There's so much in this world, so much apathy in our world today, that we need a lot more compassion. We need a lot more empathy and sympathy, godly empathy and sympathy with people, trying to engage with them, trying to get to know them, trying to let them know that you are there for them. Because as Christians, we're supposed to be the light of the world. We're supposed to be the ones that people are looking to in darkness. And when they ask questions of, why are you the way you are, or how are you able to get through these sort of things, and now you have that answer because you are a Christian. And if you let yourself get apathetic to it, then maybe you're never going to be in that situation where someone's going to ask you that question. You're going to be so far removed. You're going to remove yourself from any time you have the inkling of feeling or emotion for something, and you remove yourself again, like I said, and you take yourself away from that possible conversation with someone who wants to know about Jesus. So we need to be ready. We need to be more compassionate for our neighbor. And this isn't going to be a very long episode. I'm pretty much done here. But I want to go back to, again, that when we're feeling like this, we have to recognize it. We have to stop it. We have to confess. We have to ask for forgiveness. And in 1 John 1:9, it says, if we confess our sins, he is faithful and righteous so that he will forgive us of our sins and cleanse us from all unrighteousness. We can't let it go on and on and on, and just, in the spirit of the podcast, can't let it put us on the sidelines. Can't let us get us out of the game. We have to be finding ways to put things behind us so we can get back in the game and make a difference for Christ, for the kingdom. Life's too precious, too short in terms of our time here on earth for us to sit back and just be selfish. And like I mentioned before, I am saying that I have been selfish over the last couple of years. I feel like I've had a spirit of apathy in my life, and I am confessing it, and I want it gone from my life. I want to be more compassionate. I want to be able to feel the joys with people, and I want to experience the lows with people, and not put myself in a position where I am just stagnant and just no ups and downs, no emotions. It's just not the way we're meant to go through life. God had emotions. Jesus has emotions. That's the way he made us. He made us in his image, and we're meant to have these things. So when we consciously stop it and are consciously apathetic, and like I said, consciously, there are different states where sometimes you might not be able to control it, and that's a different issue, something I can't speak on. I don't know enough about it. But when we're consciously doing it, I believe it's sinful. And that's why I'm confessing that today to you. And I thank you for listening to it. I thank you for your patience, for your love, for your kindness. And I hope that seeing me being a little vulnerable here with you and letting you know what's been going on and these things I experienced, that maybe it'll give you a chance to maybe find a spot in your life where maybe you need to confess to God that, maybe the sin in your life that you need to confess, that you need it gone from your life. Ask God for forgiveness. Ask for him to come and help you with it. And I'm not saying that these feelings of that I'm having, these little apathetic feelings, that they're just going to be gone. They could be. God has the power to erase them from my life and just bring joy in a way that I can explain or understand. And but I also believe that the growth of it, the working through it, is where God uses us the most. It's where we grow, and that's how we end up helping other people. So with that being said, that's all I got for you today. Short and sweet. Thanks so much for tuning in. Again, go to our social media, like, click, subscribe, share, do what you got to do. Get this word out to everyone. Love you guys. I'm praying for you. Let's get off the sidelines, stop making excuses, and get in the game. We'll see you next week. Peace.
Get in the game.
Thank you for listening to the Get in the Game podcast. Please take a second to rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. That's the best way to support us. Find us on YouTube and subscribe for more content. If you would like for us to pray for you, or if you have topics that you would like us to tackle in upcoming episodes, email us at getinthegamepodcast@gmail.com. That's getinthegamepodcast@gmail.com. Or hit us up on Twitter and Instagram at getinthegamepc. If you've experienced getting off the sidelines and getting into the game yourself, please let us know. And remember, it's time to get in the game.